Yep, it's gonna be one of those videos. Am I cool yet? Hey everybody, Grego Fabulous here. Anybody that's familiar with the history of this channel knows that I've gotten some pretty killer hauls. So, what's a boy with no creative spark to do? Turn to alcohol. So, blame it on the loose, got you feeling loose. But no matter how long I just spilt on the rug. Oh boy. Blame it on the alcohol. But no matter how long you've been in the toy game, you can't possibly know everything. So in this video, I'm going to showcase my top 10 surprise finds. Number 10. Robotech SDF-1. Now this guy I came across on a flea market adventure to Connecticut with my buddy Sprooch Game Hunting. At the time, I had no idea what I was looking at, other than it was a cool robot, looked vintage, and had some Japanese writing on it. So the breadcrumbs were there. Just had to walk the rest of the way. Now, if this were complete and unbroken, it might be number 1 on the list, because that thing goes for hundos. But in this case, even an incomplete and broken Robotech SDF-1 still gets you $45 on eBay. Number 9. Masters of the Universe Alarm Clock. This was a Masters of the Universe alarm clock that I found in the basement of a video game shop. And I actually do have footage of it. But, you know, you gotta let that thing simmer for like a couple years. Wait till it's ripe, and then you can put it out on YouTube. That's probably why I get 1 subscriber a day. So this thing wasn't totally broken. I mean, it still tick-tocked, but it was missing its battery cover and the alarm didn't work. But it didn't stop me from throwing it up on eBay and selling it to some guy in like Ecuador for 40 bucks. Ecuador, where they don't need alarms, because they got nowhere to be. I don't know. I know nothing about Ecuador. My tummy hurts. Number 8. Diacron DK1. Now this is totally an example of alcoholism. Now this is totally an example of me just not knowing what the hell I was looking at. So this guy was hidden in plain sight in that unbelievable, mostly G1 Transformers boxed haul that I got a few videos ago. And what I was looking at was a Diaclone precursor to Transformers. This guy was what they used the mold for to make Sunstreaker. So it should not have come to a surprise to me when I ended up throwing it up on eBay and selling it for $115. Number 7. Phantasy Star 2 Hint Book. Now if you know anything about me, I like to walk into the frame when I start recording. Now, if you know anything about me, it's no secret that Phantasy Star is one of my all-time favorite RPGs, starting on the Master System to now with Phantasy Star Online 2 being an MMORPG on Xbox One. So not only is it a great Genesis RPG, it's actually super difficult too, especially at the time it came out. It was so difficult that the game was packed with a hint book that pretty much told you how to beat the game, how to navigate the dungeons and the maps, because they didn't think that American audiences could handle the difficulty. And if there's one thing America is known for, it's for its snowflakes. So, I'm drinking Red Moscato. I should not be talking about machismo. So anyways, when I saw this at a junk shop, it's a book, only cost me 50 cents. Even though I want to keep it for myself, even though I am going to keep it for myself, if you look online, that thing is easily worth $50. Number 6. Dinosaurus Rex. Another appearance by Masters of the Universe. Now this guy was definitely the definition of a surprise. It was not something I was aware of. It came in a parts lot, and the only way I found out what it was was by putting it on one of those action figure identification sites. And even though some people are asking over $100 for it, it ended up turning into somewhere between a $45 and $60 sale. So pick whatever number is more impressive to you, because I just don't remember. Number 5. G.I. Joe Payload. This ended up coming from my very first auction experience. And not only was it my first, but it was arguably my best, because it was the perfect storm for a toy hunter, being in a room of a bunch of old fogies that don't give a crap about toys. So anytime a lot of toys came up, I would get that thing for like pennies on the dollar. So when I got an entire lot of G.I. Joe figures and vehicles for 12 bucks, I didn't know how exciting of a purchase it was until I showed it to a friend of mine, and he pulled out this little space cadet called Payload. Now this figure alone is worth easily somewhere between $60 to $100. So that would have been the potential for this sale, but my buddy Tim did not have it in his collection, so he is now the proud owner of Payload, thanks to me. Just ride these coattails, kids. You're gonna get far. Quattro! Glowworms? Yes, you do not hear me. Why am I talking so loud? Yes, I did not misspeak. I did not misspeak, I spoke. So yeah, I'm totally surprised this is even on the list. Best story, it came from a garage sale haul where, you know, the first thing that was out in the open was some TMNT bed sheets, and asking, hey, do you have anything else, led us crawling into their attic and finding a whole bunch of other vintage stuff. And it's like, glowworms, like, yeah, they're cool and neat, but does anybody really care? Well, not only does somebody care, but somebody in another country cared. Because I threw this whole lot on eBay, and it sold for $85 plus shipping internationally to France. So somebody over there paid probably like $150 for this thing. Glowworms! I mean, I love the world. It's just funny because, like, we tried to sell that thing locally for like $30 and nobody was biting. So, vive la France, man. Omelette du fromage. Tortue ninja. How's it gonna be when they don't know you anymore? How's it gonna be? That's right. Number 3 on this list is stickers, like Lisa Frank. Not like Lisa Frank, because this has nothing to do with unicorns and whatever she was up to. Who knows? She's kind of a sketchy character. I have no basis on saying that about her. I don't know why I'm slandering the poor woman, who is also not poor, I'm assuming. I don't know. Has she sold a folder recently? Getting sidetracked. Yes, G1 Transformers sticker sheets. So this ended up being like the belle of the ball of that unbelievable G1 Transformers lot that I've already mentioned, where the Diacron DK1 came from. So we were all excited about complete G1 Transformers and all these amazing boxes, but what we should have been excited about was this pile of unused sticker sheets. Now, most people I've seen just kind of like lump it in with a figure when they try to sell it complete, but they're really missing out on an opportunity here, because I started listing these guys individually, and up until this point, I've sold dozens of them. Some were upwards of like $40 a piece. So anyone that's throwing it in with a complete figure is just throwing away money. Stickers are a big deal. Number 2. Cobra Commander Mickey Mouse. Alright, so everybody knows who Cobra Commander is. not everybody knows the Mickey Mouse version. Guilty. But the reason why it's so high up on the list, even though it might be pretty prominent in collecting circles, are the circumstances. So number one, this was picked up at an estate sale. And yes, we were interested in it because there were some loose G.I. Joe figures pictured in the listing. Of course, this guy was not pictured in the listing. So when my buddy went to go pick it up, not only did he not have competition, but he actually uncovered this figure amidst the pile of G.I. Joe bodies. So just imagine being in that moment, being a huge G.I. Joe fan and finding it, this diamond in the rough. And it's absolutely a diamond because this guy alone is worth 300 plus. Now, as of the taping of this video, we have not sold it yet because he does have a little chewy action going on in his fingers, and we would like to replace it to maximize the value. So for now, all of this is hypothetical, but the potential is definitely worthy of the number 2 spot. That was a weird spot to change the inflection of my voice, but I don't want to redo it. So let's move on to the number 1 spot. Number 1. Superman the video game. Yes, number 1 on our list is the system that is so important to video game history, but that is so nobody cares about it. The Atari 2600, in this case a copy of Superman for the Atari 2600. Now, there's a lot of reasons why this is number 1. We just didn't know what was staring us in the face at the time. So here are the circumstances. Number 1, this was a complete throw-in to that video game / G.I. Joe deal that we worked out a couple videos ago. Like, we weren't even talking value when it came to this thing. It was just like, oh, it's an Atari game, who gives a hoot? And in fact, my buddy was actually going to end up keeping it, and he did, until he was like, yeah, I wonder, let's see what we can get for it. The second reason is that this thing was sealed. Yes, unopened. A game from 1978, unopened, untouched by a man or a woman. This thing was a total virgin. Like me until I hit senior year in high school. I'm not laughing cause it's true, doo-da, doo-da. So when I was trying to do some research on how to price this guy, there really wasn't much out there. There were no active listings, and there were a few examples of sold listings, but they were all open. So at first I was like, I'm gonna throw it up for $150 and see what happens. But then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna shoot for the moon. $300 plus shipping. And that thing sold in literally 10 minutes. And not only that, but right afterwards, I got bombarded by messages being like, I missed your Superman auction. If it falls through, let me know. I missed your Superman auction. Do you have any others? I missed your Superman auction. Would you take $400? So the fact that not only did I sell this thing, which was a complete throw-in to the lot, really added no value to what we spent, for $300, and it sold within minutes, and the fact that I had people trying to backdoor the original buyer by offering me at least $400. $400! Definitely warrants Superman for the Atari 2600, the number 1 spot in my top 10 surprise finds of all time. Alright guys, so that's going to be it. Wow, super loud. Stop clapping. Stop clapping. Don't need to be so loud. Alright guys, so that's going to be it for this top 10 video. I have no idea how this is going to turn out. Apparently I have a higher tolerance than I thought because I don't feel like this thing has hit me yet. Maybe I'll watch this footage and be completely wrong. But anyways, hopefully I can work some editing magic because I think this is a totally uninteresting disaster. I mean, how fun is somebody slurring their words and being incoherent? God, it's hot in here. Are you hot? I'm hot. It is so hot. Anyways, that's my top 10. Let me know in the comments below if you totally disagree with my rankings. You know, how you would kind of slice up life, if you could redraft things, how would you do it? I am totally interested in hearing about your opinion. Hey, if you want to make a reaction video to this, go ahead. Nobody's gonna watch it, but that'd be cool for my own personal ego. That's what I was trying to think of. So anyways, I feel kind of bloated, so I'm gonna go lay down on the couch and try to convince myself that you don't need alcohol to get people to like you. Bye! And now, before we get to the #1 spot, here is an honorable mention for someone who did not crack the top 10. Honorable mention! Did I just put my nose in my shirt? I'm disgusting. Alright guys, so that's gonna be it. Wow, super loud. Stop clapping.